If you're anything like me, you've probably spent countless hours admiring the incredible grace and fluid movement of our feline companions. When a cat sprints, leaps, or walks along a narrow fence, that beautiful flowing tail is usually a key part of the spectacle. It acts as their magnificent rudder, their personal balancing beam, and a critical tool for nonverbal communication. But then you encounter a cat that defies this norm, a cat with an incredibly short, stubby tail, or maybe even no tail at all. It's a striking physical difference that immediately raises questions. Is it an injury? Is it a new breed? Is it something they were born with? Today, we're embarking on an ambitious, in-depth exploration to uncover the fascinating genetics, ancient histories, and the crucial health factors behind the phenomena of the short or no-tailed cat. Get ready to learn some seriously cool cat anatomy and genetics. Part 1, the essential role of the cattail. Before we delve into why some cats don't have long tails, let's firmly establish why most cats do. A cat's tail is essentially an extension of their spine, made up of anywhere from 18 to 28 caudal vertebrae. That's up to 10% of their total bone structure. The tail serves 3 crucial functions. Number 1, balance and equilibrium. When a cat is performing high-wire acts like walking along the back of a couch or scaling a tree, the tail acts as a counterweight. If the cat starts tipping to the right, it rapidly shifts its tail to the left to correct its center of gravity. This is essential for the legendary riding reflex, where a cat can orient itself mid-air to land on its feet. The tail helps stabilize the body during this rapid rotation. Number 2, locomotion and agility. When a cat makes a sharp turn while running, say chasing a laser pointer or prey, the tail whips around to act as a pivot. This allows for rapid changes in direction, giving them that breathtaking predatory agility. Number 3, communication. This is perhaps the most expressive function. A high upright tail means confidence and happiness. A low tucked tail signifies fear or submission. A rapidly twitching tail often means agitation or internal conflict. Cats communicate volumes with just a flick or a twitch of that appendage. So for a cat to be born without this vital tool, something significant must have occurred in its evolutionary and genetic history. And that something is a powerful genetic mutation. Part 2, the Manx cat. The Rumpy, Riser, and Stumpy. The history and genetics of the Isle of Man's icon, the single most recognized breed, associated with a lack of tail, is the Manx cat. Originating from the Isle of Man in the Irish Sea, the legends surrounding their taillessness are plentiful. From being the last animal to board Noah's Ark and having its tail severed by the closing door, to a more romantic tale of it swimming ashore from a wrecked Spanish Armada galleon. The reality, however, is much more scientific. The Manx cat's short tail is due to a naturally occurring dominant genetic mutation affecting the development of the caudal vertebrae. Because the Manx breed was isolated on the island, this dominant gene flourished within the relatively small gene pool. The severity of the mutation can vary greatly, leading to the different classifications of Manx tail types that include Rumpy. This is the most famous type. The cat has absolutely no tail vertebrae, just a small dimple or depression at the end of the spine. Rumpy Riser. This cat has a slight elevation or bump of cartilage or only 1 to 3 rudimentary tail vertebrae that are often hidden beneath a thick tuft of fur. Stumpy. This cat has a distinct, albeit short and usually kinked or curved tail, typically measuring between 1 and 7 inches in length. Longy-tailed Manx. These cats have a nearly full-length tail, though they still carry the Manx gene. They are crucial for responsible breeding programs. The key to understanding the Manx is the dominant nature of a certain gene. If a kitten inherits even one copy of this gene from a parent, it will express the short-tailed trait. If a kitten inherits a recessive gene, it will have a normal tail. However, here's the critical, often tragic caveat: the abnormal gene is also considered a lethal gene when homozygous dominant. This means that if an embryo inherits 2 copies of the abnormal gene, one from each parent, it usually results in spontaneous abortion or stillbirth. This is why experienced Manx breeders generally only breed a Manx with one of these special genes and one recessive gene. This prevents the creation of the lethal genotype. Part 3, health implications for the cat. Understanding Manx syndrome and the link between tail and spinal health. Because the special gene mutation affects the spine itself, it can in some cases cause significant health problems, collectively known as Manx syndrome. This syndrome occurs when the spinal defect is so severe that it affects not just the tail, but the spinal cord and the nerves that control the hindquarters and internal organs. The symptoms usually appear within the first 4 months of a kitten's life and can include hind end weakness, difficulty walking, or characteristic bunny hop gait due to a shortened or fused lower spine. Spinal defects, conditions like spina bifida where the spinal cord does not close properly. Bowel and bladder dysfunction. The nerves controlling the anus and bladder can be damaged, leading to chronic incontinence or the inability to control these functions. Fortunately, many Manx cats are perfectly healthy and lead normal lives. It is the careful selection and breeding of only the healthiest individuals, particularly avoiding those with severe rumpy characteristics, that helps minimize the incidence of Manx syndrome. This is why buying a Manx from a reputable, registered breeder who understands the breed's genetics is paramount. Part 4. Other naturally short-tailed cat breeds. While the Manx cat carries the most well-known and dramatic tail mutation, it is far from the only cat breed with a naturally short or stubby tail. Interestingly, the genetic mutations in these other breeds are often different and do not carry the same inherent risks as the Manx gene. One other such type is the Japanese bobtail. The Japanese bobtail is an ancient and revered breed often featured in traditional Japanese art. Their short tail is completely different from the Manx. It is typically comprised of several complex curves, kinks, and angles, which, when covered in fur, gives it the appearance of a cute, fluffy pom-pom or rabbit's tail. This unique tail structure is caused by a different recessive gene mutation. Unlike the Manx, the bobtail's gene doesn't usually cause spinal fusion or severe health issues, making the breed quite hardy. And then there is the American bobtail. This breed is known for its rugged, wildcat look, resembling a small bobcat. The American bobtail features a distinct, natural bobtail that is generally about 1/3 to 1/2 the length of a normal cat's tail. Crucially, the tail should be flexible, and the vertebrae should not be fused, unlike some Manx cats. The mutation responsible for the American bobtail's short tail is considered distinct from both the Manx and Japanese bobtail genes. And lastly, there is the Pixie-bob, another breed often compared to a bobcat. The Pixie-bob is bred to resemble the elusive North American wildcat. The breed standard calls for a tail that is a minimum of 2 inches long but can be as long as the hawk. Their tail is often kinked or knotted, adding to their unique rustic appearance. Like the Japanese and American bobtails, the Pixie-bob's tail mutation is not linked to the Manx syndrome health risks. Part 5. Compensating for the lack of tail, adaptation, and the stubby advantage. The question often arises, if the tail is so crucial for balance, how do these short-tailed cats manage? The answer is adaptation and compensation. Cats with bobbed or absent tails have evolved mechanisms to compensate for the loss of their primary balancing aid, such as hindquarters. Manx cats, particularly the rumpies, often have slightly longer hind legs than forelegs, giving them a high rabbit-like appearance and contributing to their unique gait. This higher center of gravity allows them to distribute their weight differently. These breeds also rely more heavily on their highly sensitive inner ear system, the vestibular system, which is the main organ for sensing equilibrium. They learn to use their overall body mass, their torso, shoulders, and head as the counterweight that a normal cat uses its tail for. They adjust their posture midair or while turning to achieve balance. It is truly a testament to the evolutionary flexibility of the feline body that they can function so successfully with a significant piece of their anatomy missing. Part 6. Final thoughts and responsible ownership. The stubby truth and the takeaway. So, to summarize our deep dive, the reason some cats have short, stubby, or no tails is almost always due to a natural genetic mutation that affects the development of the caudal vertebrae. The most dramatic example is the dominant abnormal gene in the Manx cat, which, while creating a unique appearance, also carries the risk of the serious condition known as Manx syndrome. Other breeds, like the Japanese and American bobtails, possess different, less problematic genes for their short tails. These felines are not lesser cats, they are simply anatomically diverse, showcasing the incredible variety within the Felis catus species. If you are considering welcoming a short-tailed breed into your home, please prioritize adopting from reputable breeders who understand the genetics, or better yet, adopting from a shelter where many wonderful mixed-breed stumpy cats await a loving family. Their stubby tails are not a flaw, but a charming genetic quirk that makes them uniquely beautiful. Do you have a Manx, a Pixie-bob, or a wonderful shelter cat with a short tail? We'd love to hear their story. Share their picture, their breed, and what makes them special in the comments below. If you enjoyed this comprehensive look into feline genetics, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Thank you for watching.